And and the thing is, I was communicating with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of guys, probably well over 1,000 guys from around the world that gets attracted to these accounts. There are ladies men out there. There are guys that get girls. I know this one guy that he recently joined the program, and he's been getting more success. But his uncles and everybody were pimps in Philadelphia or whatever. And he's just a works on airplanes like just a regular blue collar job. But he's good with ladies. So some guys and these what I'm about to say applies to those guys also because some guys have an authentic character that is appealing to a lot of women. And um, however, where authenticity comes in, and I was having all these realizations. Sultan was talking that a lot of what happens. We grow up and we learn how to communicate and how to behave from the people we're around. It's an emulation. Like just think of how we learn how to talk. People say words, and to us as babies, they're just like sounds. We don't understand. We don't know how to recognize what a T is, or a C, or an S, or an A. Like we don't distinguish that. But over time, through pattern recognition, we see that they refer to so and so as mom. So we say mom, and then we associate the sound with the meaning, with the image and the object. And so we learn language through pattern recognition. So your authentic self was learned from your parents. What you think is authentic is just a bunch of habits and behaviors that are you, that, or they're not technically in a spiritual sense, they're not you, but that's what has come to be known as your character, Jack and John and Jill and every Chris and Sultan and everybody. That's and so you think that's authentic, but you are really just a carbon copy. You're a photocopy of all the impressions of your upbringing, and that's all you've ever known. So as you grow up and you become 30 years old, I'm 37, 40 years old, 50 years old, a lot of people, most people, I think, come to realize at some point, for me, it was around 27, 26, 27, is when I realized this was one of the biggest realizations of my life. And it didn't come suddenly, although there were sudden moments. It's how I can put my words on it now, looking back. Here's what happened 10 years ago. I realized that my mind was never mine, that it was filled with ideas that I was not consciously putting in there. Yeah, I was studying, I was getting a PhD, at a master's degree, bachelor's, I'd wrestled and all these things. And so by choice, yes, I had consented to these ideas, but I was not aware that I was a soul spirit behind my mind. And I was just filling my mind with all this architecture of the trivia of life and not having some sort of separation where, dude, I'm a soul. I'm not this mind. This is a pattern. If I was born in Uganda, or if I was born in China, if I was born in an Eskimo tribe, like I would have a completely different mind, but I would still have my soul. And so, what is this? And that realization, begins this where it's like authentic self. It comes back to this other realization I have when Sultan is talking. Yes, we all want to be authentic, but you also got to be honest and authentic with yourself about what it is you desire in this life for yourself. Are you authentically, honestly being honest with yourself about what it is you want? Do you want the most beautiful women? Do you want the most immaculate lifestyle? And is your authentic self that you were just brought up to be, is that going to get you those things? Or do you need to authentically be honest with yourself that maybe, like Sultan said, is your avatar attractive? Well, maybe you're being authentic, but if you're honest with yourself, it's not getting what you want. So is it inauthentic to change yourself to get what you want? Because that's not really you. You're a soul. You're just changing the outside, the mind and the body and the wardrobe and everything. And so I think that's a more mature, advanced idea of authenticity than just being how I've always been. Because with a little more awareness, you realize how you've always been is just how mom and dad and school trained you to be. I don't think that's authentic. I think that's just pattern. That's what I think. Shout out. Shout out. Guys, remember, after this, we're going to be ending in about 5 minutes. Then, in about 10 minutes after that, There's an open class with AZD, the teacher, the main guy. We're students, we're messengers. We live with him. So Sultan, guardian of Iron Nation, Yogi Chris, captain of Iron Nation, different ranks. Yes, this guy, tattooed bald Persian guy. That's the player with all the tens. We got girls. He's got better girls in many instances. I don't mean to say it that way, but it's like what most guys would look at would be like, wow, those are super fine. And he's living in that dynamic for 10, 15 years now. And so if you want to learn, there's a free class in 15 minutes. You just DM the account. And if you're a real person, you got a profile picture, and we know you're a guy, because no women or children allowed in this kind of game group, then I'm sure we'll get you the link. Right on. I don't see a lot of questions that I think are typed. I don't know, because maybe they're your followers or something. So there you go. Oh, I mean, that's definitely the pitch. So I recommend join and ask the top player. As far as making your place entertaining, AZD's game, level of game, that conversation is so entertaining. You could literally be like in a dumpster or in a naked, empty field, or alone, camping or something. Like you don't that. Yes, you want aesthetics, beauty, entertaining, I don't know what an entertainment system, a TV, like the same stuff that we would think of. We would arrange it more aesthetically, but you have to be entertaining in your personality, and then understand that that you're not a court jester, you're not a clown, you're not there just to entertain her. So there's a lot of mentality in that, and then just skill of communication. I recommend showing up to class so you can see what it sounds like, hear what it sounds like. Okay, thank you, Sultan. I'll see you guys maybe on class. Oh, of course, I want to be a part of the new business. I don't think there's any business or venture that I have not wanted to be a part of, and I'm in it for life. So I don't understand what my role would be or how to enter into this uncharted territory, but I'd like to join. Been streaming the whole time, huh? You guys are still watching. Tricksters. Tricksters.